Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody here. I have another layout. This is a Project Lifestyle layout. This is for my July 2014 first page, part one, I guess you could say. And what I'm doing, I already have the photos laid out, and these are from two different 4th of July events that we were at. One was on like the Saturday before 4th of July, and one was actually on 4th of July. So these are kind of the extra photos that didn't make it on a full 12 by 12 layout, but I still liked them and I definitely wanted to include them. So I haven't quite figured out exactly what colors I'm working with. I wanted this die cut on the top right that said, "That was wild," because I have a little bit of a story to write there. And so I was kind of pulling my colors from there, but I like the teal of this washi tape. I think they're called journaling. Journal tape, I think is what they're called. They're a Project Life pack, I believe. I hope so. I think that's what those are. So it's just like a journaling grid card on different pattern paper that looks like it's been stuck on with washi tape. That's what they all are, but I like them. So I've pulled out reds, yellows, and this teal, and I'm going to end up switching out this On a Sunny Day card because it's just too bold. I end up not putting any other real bright yellows on this, and that's just way too bold for me. So I'm going to switch that out, but I'm going to stick with it for the moment. I'm just going through all of my scraps here. I'm trying to use up some of the scrap pieces that I have, especially since they're the correct colors, and Project Life is a great place to use those because you don't need a lot to put on a little 3x4 card. And I was going through my 6x6 paper pad that I had pulled out, and I was just trying to see if I had if anything popped out at me. And I pulled out this white and gray polka dot, and then I also pulled out a few of these little die cuts that I cut apart. So I'm going to take off all my little pieces and start working from there, trying to figure out what I'm doing. I have a couple different options here, and I'm just flipping through them, but I'm going to settle on this gray and white polka dot. I'm going to trim it down a little bit. On my Project Life pages, I always put a white 4x6 not photo, 4x6 card in all of my top left, top right, bottom right pockets. And I always use the design A for my title page for the month and my ending page for the month. Now I have different sized inserts typically in between, in addition to the 12 by 12 layouts, but I always do the front and the last page the same, or at least I have thus far. I may change my mind in the future, but I have so far. So this is the July 2014 Project Life page, as I mentioned, and the first thing that really happens in July is the 4th of July for us. We don't do much before that other than work and, maybe Kaylin goes to camp. Excuse me, I had to yawn. I'm doing this voiceover a little bit late in the evening. Sorry, that was kind of rude. But so I'm just adding different things here. I wanted to cover up the guy in that bottom left photo. So let me tell you what's going on. So for the Freedom Festival that the YMCA holds, that is the photo with Kaylin. He's getting his face painted, and the photo of me and Ernest. And then the other three photos, the one with my mom and me and Kaylin on the top right, my mom on the right, and Kaylin on the bottom, those are actually at the 4th of July festival downtown Raleigh, and they have kind of a street fair with vendors and different things out there. And so that's that. And that was actually on the 4th of July. My mom came up to visit for that. So those are the two different events. So let me tell you what each photo is while you watch me create here. The top right, we're actually sitting down Fayetteville Street, which is the street that runs downtown, and they had blocked it off for the festival, of course, for the street fair. And they do the fireworks kind of at the end. So Fayetteville Street has tall buildings all up and down, both sides. And then, so they do the fireworks at the very end of the street, kind of behind buildings. That way you can see it as you're downtown or as you're on Fayetteville Street. So Kaylin, though, is not a huge fan of fireworks because of the noise. He thinks they look cool, but he doesn't really like the noise. So he's got this like real super pouty face. And this picture is not very good quality because it's late at night. It's dark. And, it's my older phone, so it just wasn't the best camera either. So he's kind of got a pouty face, but I wanted to include it because it really is kind of a funny story. He actually, that was kind of a wild night, honestly. And I didn't include the whole story in my project life, but now that I think about it, it was a bit wild. So we're enjoying the evening. Ernest is with us. It's me, my mom, Ernest, and Kaylin. We're walking. We're just enjoying our time. Not even like 15 minutes after we're there, we come across this like 5 or 6 year old girl that's lost. And she's just standing there yelling for her grandmother. So we take her and we walk around and we're looking for like a police officer. And we end up, the girl was very descriptive, which I thought was quite interesting. We asked what her grandmother was wearing, and she said her hair color, her the type of clothes that she had on, the bag that she was carrying. It was really funny. She wore glasses. Like, now thinking about it, it's really funny. At the time, it was a little bit terrifying, I'm sure, for the girl. But even though she was scared and she didn't know where her grandmother was, boy, that girl gave a great description of what her grandmother looked like, and it was actually pretty easy to find her. We found her before we even found a police officer. So that's how our evening kind of started. Then, later in the evening, we're sitting there waiting for the fireworks to start, and after they start, a guy probably 15 feet from us starts having a seizure, which is quite terrifying in the middle of the fireworks show. And there's so many people are packed in there. There's no way to get out, no way to get in, and it was just, oh, it was crazy. Somebody ended up calling the hotel that was kind of downtown, and they got the paramedics to come through the hotel and found their way to the guy that was having the seizure. But it was just a crazy, crazy, crazy evening. But it was fun. We had fun. It was just kind of weird, though, all the different things that happened. Oh, and then when we were walking out again, there was another kid that was lost. But this time, this kid was with a police officer, so there was no need for us to stop and help. But it was just like, oh my gosh, how much can happen in a span of like 4 hours? But I don't even think it was 4 hours, probably only about 2.5 hours that we were there. But it was quite eventful. So anyways, back to the layout. I am just kind of covering up this. So this card, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I liked the gray at the background, and I liked this, like it's supposed to be, so it's off that creative imagination sticker sheet, I believe, that's on the left side of the screen, and it has like ride things on there, like roller coasters and race car, checkered flags, has a stop sign and stuff. And it has this like starburst thing, and it just reminds me of fireworks. I think it's supposed to be like a POW sign, but it really reminds me of fireworks. And I really like how that was just a scrap of that chevron paper, and I really like how the gray background with the bright blue chevron paper and then the red and silver starburst, and then I'm going to add some washi tape, like silver washi tape, and then also a stamp that says celebrate, which is fitting for the 4th of July. I just adhered everything down to the top right top right card, and I put it a bit askew just to add a bit more interest, especially since the top left card is a bit askew as well. And what I'm going to put on here, you're going to see me do this in a moment. I'm going to add some letter stickers so it says that was wild, and then I'm going to put or just frightening because Kaylin was frightened. He couldn't stand it. And then I wrote, Kaylin is a bit scared of the fireworks. On the left 3x4 card, it's just a little die cut that was from the no, not die cut. I cut it apart off the cut apart sheet from the 6x6 pad, and it says Sweet Child of Mine, and then I put a little silver arrow over it. And the camera cut off, so I'm just slowing it down a bit so you can see I added this silver star acetate piece right over that red part of that card. All right, I still have a lot to do in this layout. It took me a little bit longer than normal to do, I think because I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I kept fiddling around with things. Nothing is too extravagant or difficult on this layout, but I did kind of fiddle around a bit. I'm using these rubbery gray alphas, which I really, really like, but I'm running out of things. So I'm making like a 14 because I don't have any zeros, so I can't do 2014. And then I'm going to use these, I think this is a Perfect Summer. These, a Perfect Summer. These letter stickers, and they kind of have a teal and darker teal geometric pattern. It's the exact same color that's on the card itself. And I'm going to cover up this green washi tape with some gray polka dotted washi tape. But you can still see the pattern a little bit through it, but you can't see the color, which is nice. And then I'm going to add that silver washi tape that's polka dotted. It was too transparent, so it didn't work over the green one. But I'm adding it right below the like firework on that one 3x4 card. And this is where I'm adding the frightening part. Just using these circle stickers, which again I love. They're from Target. I should have bought 4 or 5 packs of them when they were there in the dollar spot, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I wasn't thinking about how much I'd like them. I think they were my first set of circle alphas, and I totally love them. I'm going to have to break down and buy the October afternoon ones. I've seen a couple, mostly probably Nicole Jones from Nicole Jones 911 used the circle ones from October afternoon, but I love them. I didn't think I would like them as much as I do, but I really do. And these are just some smaller alphas. I need coffee or something. I'm tired tonight. Okay. So I'm adding the little bit of journaling, and let's see. I'm going to pull out a couple stamps here in a moment to stamp my family in the top left. And then also, because I was looking at this one that says things to remember, but I am not using it. There's the celebrate one that I'm going to move over to the fireworks page or card. I was going to put celebrate family, but it didn't fit very well together. And so I just ended up putting my family that fits perfectly together and then celebrate. And that's all the stamping I do on this page. Yes, that's it. And I just tested it on the back to see, because what this is it's the pumice stone. I don't know why I always want to say pumice stone. That makes no sense. Pumice stone. It's the pumice stone ink from Tim Holtz. And then I'm going to use the black ink on this other one. And that's Memento Tuxedo Black. I just didn't want the bold black stamp on the top left card because it had all the gray on it already. There wasn't any black on it at all. Now, out of that Creative Imaginations die cut pack, that's what's the pile of die cuts that's on the right side of the screen. There were a couple arrows, which I'm going to use 2 of on this layout, and then there's all these little silver stars. I'm going to use a lot of those stars, and that's going to kind of mimic the stars on the acetate on the card that I'm working on right now. So what this is, this card or this photo is a robot puppet, and Kaylin is like painfully shy in public. He's a wild man when it's our family or just us, but our friends. But when we're in public, he's a bit shy. So, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's kind of funny because that's so not his personality when we're, when he's around people he's comfortable with. So I put robot puppet because he thought it was so cool. And then I put ... shy boy. Says he loved it, but was so nervous about going up to it. So it's this little like puppet robot thing, and there's a guy that's operating it, and he was letting kids come up and touch it. So it was really cool, but he was super shy. But I'm glad that he got the courage to go up and touch it because it was really cool. And then let's see here. What is next? So I'm not really going to do anything to the photo of Kaylin getting his face painted because I'm going to dedicate 2 layouts to that, 2 12x12 layouts. I haven't done them yet, but I'm going to dedicate 2 12x12 layouts to that. He turned out to be this cute little tiger. I love it. But boy, was he scared getting his face painted. He wasn't sure. If his friend hadn't have done it before him, yeah, he never would have done that. But I'm glad he did because he was so excited afterwards. I have this other little cut apart sheet that had a little arrow and it said extra special, and I cut it a little bit too short, and so I'm trying to alter it here and add the arrow. And then I end up getting a bit of glue on my photo and I can't get it off, so I'm going to end up having to add a star to cover up the glue. So the extra special sits on the arrow, and then I'm going to add a little star right below it. This is just a picture of Ernest and I. We have a lot of pictures in this exact same pose, whether I'm on his left or I'm on his right, whatever. I always have kind of my chin on his shoulder, and he's always kind of leaning his head back because he's always the one taking the photo. We have like 99% of our photos together are like this. And so you're probably going to see this pose quite frequently in my layouts. Just looking to see if I want to add anything else. I'm going to add these little stars. I added them, scattered them about the whole layout. And then the last photo is the one of my mom on the right, and there's really no story to it, but I thought it was a nice photo of her. And I love my mom. I want her in my layouts as much as possible. So anyways, that pretty much finishes up this layout. I appreciate you all joining me today. I'm looking to see if there's anything else, and I really want to add that last little bit of acetate, but it just doesn't make it. Oh, actually it does. I'm sorry. It makes it right there on the edge, but that's it. You can't really see it very well, but it's just a little bit over that teal. So anyways, please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It lets YouTube know, and it really helps me out. And then also subscribe if you'd like, so you can see the other layouts that I'll be posting soon. I typically post 3 times a week, so come back soon and join me for more layouts. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.